Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with today's sketch from 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And it is this one by Miranda Webber. And I'm also doing today's load prompt, and the load prompt has to do with relationships. And we are to focus on a favorite relationship. And I'm using this photo of myself and my sister. I would say that lately, the person I want to talk to and hang out with and experience some of life with is my sister, and we live way too far away from one another, and she can't travel. So it's on me to do that, and I'm trying to figure out how I can do that more. And it's just something I've been thinking about a lot lately. So I thought I would do this page about her. And the technique prompt was to scrap in the style of one of our favorite scrappers. And I'd have to say that I have so many favorite scrappers, but and I generally admire those who do things that I can't or don't typically do. So I really like a lot of minimalist scrappers because, you know, that's not exactly my forte. And the thing, the person I've chosen is Julie Taylor. And Julie is one of my scrappy idols that I have actually gotten a chance to meet in person and see her do her work. And I didn't want to, I have a million of her layouts that I'd love to scrap lift, and I didn't want to do a scrap lift because I kind of want to follow Miranda's sketch to the best I can. Julie tends to use a lot of white space, and she does a lot of small, what I'm going to call small dotty mixed media, and she circles her dots. So I have a stencil. I'm using the last bits of my September Mind the Scrap kit. I have an October kit on its way, and so I'm using the last bits. There's some paper strips and some Art Options, Elena 49 and Market stuff. And there's this that can go across. That's probably the wrong place to put it. But, you know, I'm not going to use everything that's here, but I thought I might try to use a lot. And so I'm going to, on Miranda's, there's like the gray cardstock, the blue, the other blue, this purple, the other blue, some pink strips, some black here and there. There are many, many layers of cardstock. I really kind of want the white frame, and I'm going to do the photos kind of arranged like that, and I'm going to have it look like lots of layers, but not the big layers behind, you know, right above the 12 by 12 page. So what I thought I would do, I got these two 6 by 8 bits. I'm just gonna kind of do a minimalist version of Miranda's layers, and then I'm gonna layer this frame and this frame to be, you know, to kind of mimic this. And I'm not sure where that will go. Maybe like so, but a little at an angle. And then I can put an embellishment there. And then I really want to use this. I don't necessarily need it to say go out and explore, although that would work. And then I I thought I'd layer these things, but I may end up layering only the lace, like so. And that kind of makes it look like, you know, you get some of the sense of the layers on the edges there. I'm gonna put these bits aside, and I'm just gonna do something like this. And I have these like stamps. I thought maybe I could layer those back in here somewhere, and then maybe put something like that behind them so that they stand out. I have some other stamps, and I thought I could kind of layer here in the corner. I'm going to put the frame straight and that at an angle, and then maybe something like a flower there, and maybe a leaf cluster like so, and maybe a large flower here, and another large one maybe right behind that. I'm kind of just designing this as I go along, and I'm going to use this word sweetest because that certainly defines Patrice. I like this. So I'll do something like that, and then I'll use the stencil to create some other stuff. I'm liking how this is shaping up. So now I have to take it all apart. But I think what I've got is going to work. I don't know if I want to do this smack dab in the middle, or if I want to do it something like that. And what I may want to do is cut this in half and have it come out farther. Maybe like so. These are really nice and thick pieces of paper. Okay. There, and then I'm going to do this kind of off to the side a little bit. Okay, so that's down. Now, I'm going to put this in such a way that it has some of this and some of this in the background. I know that I'm going to layer this on top, and I like that this is contrasted against that. So let me get some foam on the back here, and I'm going to do some layering, certainly things are going to be layered up with the foam. In this case, I'm using the thick foam, the Big Mama foam that I get from Spiegel Mom Scraps. And speaking of Spiegel Mom Scraps, I want to pull out some sequins for this. Okay, so we've got that on there now. And now I'm going to put some, this is very thick chipboard. I'm going to put it kind of down this way. So I'll put lots of glue just in this corner. Okay, that's on there. Now this, in order to layer it there, I'm going to have some, I'm going to, let's see, how do I want to do that? I think I'm going to do it just as I showed it. Let me get this in here at the right angle, but I'm going to layer it with some foam. And we'll see. Then I'll put it down as a unit and not try to insert anything into it. I love that the kit from Mind the Scrap was, let me do it that way, and then I need another, maybe 2 bits of foam. Let's see, is that going to be the bottom? I'll call it the bottom, so it's this side over here that needs to be popped up. Let's see if that's enough. It is not. Okay, come on. There. And here. And I'm going to do the mixed media oh, you know what? I need this on here so that multiple foams go under the photo. Silly me. Okay, I said that and then I didn't do it. Okay, there is the that piece. This is not sticking because it doesn't quite hit that, but that's okay when I put this down, and I need that third bit. Things are really going to be layered up, and I kind of get that sense from Miranda's sketch anyway. So that's kind of why I decided to do this. Okay, let's do that. I'm gonna maybe put a little bit of foam under here so that it makes contact with the photo there. And then I can, I'm now thinking, let me get a piece of this thinner foam. You kind of go back and forth. That's an inexact science here, I'm sure. Okay, so that seems to work. And I can do, I think I was going to do these guys layered right here. And maybe I can do them like that. Let me get my stapler. And if I did this, and then some of this foam, that might anchor it, this corner a little bit better. I think for those of you who know Julie or know her work, there's just this wonderful sense of whimsy, and she's got a great sense of humor, and that shows through in her work. So she's just awesome. Okay, I was gonna use this somewhere. I could put it right there and have it cover up the go out end. And I hate that I've covered up the boat there, but it's done. What I got was the ferns, and I like that. So this is not working, and I'm not sure what's wrong with that. I know that it will be, it'll behave better in the page protector. Let me try one thing. I will remove one of these layers. And that seems to help. Okay. And a miscalculation is all that was. So now I can do this. Again, not exactly the right length or depth, but I think I can fix it. There we go. And kind of up in here, oh, I did want those, where did they go? These guys, kind of back behind here. And what's good is to get the look I was gonna do. It's always easier layering things when you haven't glued anything down. So I can, let me do this, and I don't have to use them all. And I can just put a little bit of foam do it this way. And I think I'm going to use a tag here. That will work. And that brings that red color kind of over here, there, and let me get maybe that leaf cluster right there. I'll just do that instead of a flower, and I'll use the flowers over in this area. Let me get that. There we go. Okay. And I was going to use this to add some contrast, but when I turned the stamps over and used the orange side, that worked just fine. But that could go kind of right under there. Okay, and let's see. I have to get rid of these things now. I thought I'd use, let's use that right there on the green where it really contrasts. And let me get one of these flowers. I want one kind of right here behind the butterfly, and I'll kind of curl it up a bit so we get a little bit of dimension. There, and I'll curl this one up and kind of curl the leaves. And let's see, I have enough to use one of these right here. And this looks like it might want to be up on some foam to be more even with those stamps. And I haven't even done the part that reminds me of Julie yet. Let's see. I'm not getting this so that the flower's upright. The leaves almost need to be here. So I'll put them here, and then I'll go find, that one's still upside down. So I'll do one. How about I layer another tag? Right there. Oops, I've got a bit too much glue on there. I'll do that. And then now I will put a couple flowers and a leaf cluster. I'm going to do a green leaf cluster. That one's a little too blue. And I'll put a little foam on here. There, and then I'm going to do a small flower that just hangs off the side of the tag. There we go. And I understand that the images kind of blur into each other, and I like that about it. So I'm okay with that. I'm just gonna get this glued down in a couple places and let it look, for the most part, like it's just lying there. Okay, now I'm gonna start putting, actually let me use this green one first because it's gonna be hidden under there and you won't see that part. And I'm gonna kind of layer it up onto there. And then I'm gonna do this next one kind of up under here. I'll just put a little bit of glue on it in the center. Come on. Okay, I'll do that, and I'll let it come down a bit. Okay, and I'm going to take this and cut a couple small pieces and layer them kind of like that. And then it'll be the part that shows over here. Okay, I'm hitting some foam. I'll do it that way. And then I'll layer this lighter blue under the darker blue. Come on. I need to go raise that up a little better, and then I still don't have glue on this, so I'm going to raise it up and throw some glue down right there, and then I'm going to curl up the ends of all the lace. Okay, I think that's good, and it seems like I should be able to use this somewhere, right? Maybe I'll save it for another project. Now, I have some rub-ons before I do the mixed media stenciling stuff. I have some rub-ons that I thought I would do here. Let me get my applicator. Okay. Perfection. And I'm going to do this small green one down here. Or maybe there. What the heck? I'm going to do it here. I have used this popsicle stick for so many different things. It doesn't have a good, perfectly smooth edge for rubbing rub-ons. This side might be a little better. Okay, now that kind of gives me some guideline for where I can do my mixed media. I'm going to try, let's see, let me put a pin on this. I think I'm done with that. So I'm going to use primarily the dotty bits, kind of right in here. I'm going to do some twisted citron. And it kind of just made some dottiness there. I'm going to use some more twisted citron up in this area and kind of go down and over and okay. And now I'm going to do some, and there isn't going to be nearly as much nor nearly as inventive, shall we say. Let's see, I'm going to use this, which has kind of big dots, and I'll do some blue that kind of mix in around with these red bits. I'm using tumbled glass, which is not a very dark blue. I wanted it subtle, but it may be a little too subtle. But I'm going to come down around here and do some more anyway. And then I'll go back and do the part that I am, the part that is a nod to Julie. So let me get my black pen, and I'm just going to go, and I'll encircle some of those that are part of the rub-on even. And some that aren't out there at all. I'll do some of the ones that aren't perfectly round, like that and that. I was tempted to do a lift for the load prompt, do a straight lift of Julie, and then do the sketch separately. But I don't have time to do 2 pages and 2 videos on this particular day. I had some errands, trying to go get emissions testing in my car and some other stuff, and go to the gym and finish decorating the front porch for Halloween so people know that they can come and trick or treat. I've got a cute, this little bit right here that says live in the moment. Maybe I'll put it here. So now I'm doing some small things. So anyway, I decided I'd do an homage rather than a lift. And I'm telling you this because in a way I'm making an excuse for the fact that it doesn't look anything like, and not nearly as good as a Julie Taylor layout would look. But she's Julie Taylor, and I'm not. I'm gonna slide that in there and get another layer of leaves. I'm really trying to kill this kit, in case you can't tell, and I love it, which is why I don't want any of it to not get used, if that makes sense. Here's a big gigantic flower. Where should that guy go? Maybe here or here. May just end up I think I'm going to stop. Oops, I have some glue on this, so I can't stop without using it. So that's already down. Let's bring it around here on the green. Okay, I'm done. I'm going to add some splatters. Oh, I didn't use this. It's just not the right length to have used it on anything here, so that will go in the bucket to be used another time. So let me use some black splatters that I'll put in among these stenciled in dots, and I'll put some on the blue paper. Okay. And Julie's pages are just nothing if not filled with beautiful detail. And I realize I'm not, this one doesn't have nearly that level of detail. So I'm going to kind of look. There's a little thing that says, "Life is so good." This "stay close." I like that because it's the challenge, isn't it? To stay close to someone who is physically so far away. So I've kind of set an agenda of plans for taking her on some trips to some places she's never been. That would be nice, but I kind of like the leaves there. I could do it kind of right under that layer of lace. That works. And then there's this little bit that says "The Good Life," and I like that. This was taken on a trip I made a few weeks back to visit her, and we went to Avery Island where they make Tabasco sauce, and we had a blast. It's right close to where she lives. Okay, I've got, that's a paper crumb. Well, I'm just going to leave it there. And that's what I can put there. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. I don't want to add any yellow to it. I have no reason, but a little orange and this teal color would work. I've got some buttons. I've got this. Let's see. I've got an orange disc here. Speaking of discs, let me see if I can find some flare. I know I have a definite shortage of teal. That Spectrum Sherbet teal, I don't have any. there's an orange and white stripe that just doesn't look. Here's kind of an orangey reddish that seems to work. I like that. And let me see if there's anything, maybe even a green. There we go. Here's a nice green. And I'll get a little foam, and then we're done. So it doesn't look anything like the sketch, except there are kind of crisscrossing layers behind the photo cluster. And the photo cluster is kind of everything. Maybe I'll do the red down there and the green up here, because there is no green up there. Our green is kind of all down here. So let's bring it in right there. And that just kind of finishes off edges and really finishes it nicely. So I'm happy with it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I kind of designed it on the fly and gave myself permission to depart from the sketch, which is here, but it certainly inspired me. And thank you, Miranda, for your inspiration. And thank you, Christy, for organizing all of that. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.